Howdy, I'm Alex Prater. Do you have a heart? Well, of course you do. That's kind of a silly question to ask, isn't it? Everybody has hearts. And with a heart, that's one of your main organs that you have to have in your body to survive. Without it, you don't get blood flow to anything else, and everything else in your body shuts down. So, a heart is your most important organ, essentially, minus your brain. It is one of your most essential organs. So without the heart, you have nothing. Your whole body shuts down within milliseconds. So a big issue today with a lot of people today is they have heart diseases and stuff like that. And that can, destroy your heart, kill you within, a month. Who knows? You may not know about it for a year, and then all of a sudden you have a heart attack and you're gone. Your loved ones miss you and all this. Well, I'm here to talk to you about the American Heart Association. The American Heart Association has been working hard to prevent heart disease and also treat what there is already. So I have a chart here to show you kind of this is back in 2017 and 2016. Heart disease is the leading cause of death by far. A close second on that is cancer, and there's a lot of people working on cancer. But I want to talk to you about the American Heart Association and what all they have done, what they're going to do, and kind of show you what, if you donated to the American Heart Association, what it would go towards. So to start with, they started back in 1924, so nearly 100 years ago, just shy of about 4 years. They started with only 6 doctors working, and now they've grown into this massive company, and they have tons of helpers, tons of donations all the time. They've done a whole bunch of stuff. But to get into kind of more of the details of all that stuff, they are the ones that started and made the pacemakers, the original pacemakers. They're also some of the ones that found out that you don't need breaths, the breath during the CPR. You don't really necessarily need that. It definitely is beneficial to have it, but it's not a needed thing. So both of those things have come through research, which is one of the things that your donations will definitely go towards, is research, because you don't want to go into a heart surgery to take care of whatever, a blockage, maybe something like that, to put a stent in. You don't want to go in there and not know what you're doing, because if you don't know what you're doing and you mess up and you end up nicking the wrong thing, you just destroyed someone's heart, which is destroying them. Essentially, they're gonna die without it. You cannot live without a heart. And, sometime maybe in the future with American Heart Association, they may find a way to implant an artificial heart, and you may be able to survive without it. But for the time being, we don't have that technology. At least we don't have a technology that is a safe enough technology to use in everyday people, and so far. So obviously some of your donations would be going into research. Another big thing it would go into is treatment, because if you've ever been to a doctor, you know that doctors are really expensive. And the heart doctors, those are one of the most expensive ones. So they have to be compensated. They're spending countless of hours, countless of years just doing nothing but studying and practicing and taking care of this, so that whenever they get to that operating room and they open you up, they know what they're doing. They're not going to mess up and do the wrong thing, and because if they mess up, like I said earlier, that's it. That's the end of the story. But those are your two things that mainly all your donations will go towards. That's not including employees, stuff like that that they have. I believe it was 34,000 employees, something like that we have. What they have done is, like I said earlier, is we've done pacemakers, found out about CPR, different things about it, stuff like that, nowadays that's just secondhand nature, but back then when they were invented, that was brand new technology. That would be like coming out with an artificial heart for us today. But without that research, you can't do that. You can't find out these new things. It has to be researched. So, to restate all this, the American Heart Association can't be what it is today without donations and support from the people around it. And it may seem that you don't necessarily need it now because, you're healthy and this, that, and the other. But, you got to think, in 40, 50 years, are you going to be the one laying in there on that hospital bed? Are you going to be having that issue? And that's something I tell a lot of people because I'm a volunteer firefighter. A big leading cause in volunteer firefighters' deaths is heart disease. And the reasoning behind that is because of the fact we go from sitting on our couch doing nothing to, hey, we got a fire call, we got to amp up, and we're 100% adrenaline. That's really hard on a heart. I mean, that will wear a heart down really quick. So just take those things into, mind and thought whenever you're thinking about possibly donating to the American Heart Association. And if you want to, you can go visit the website and see more of what we do, see more of what we've accomplished, more of all this other stuff that, I can't mention during this. But thank you for your time. Hope you have a good afternoon. We'll see you later.